Oh, it's telling me to select the stream again.
No way.
Again.
Ugh.
Well, now it says we're connected.
What a week.
I blame you, Lewis.
It's got to be my fault.
Your presence just makes all the technology go haywire. Your mere presence.
Hey, look at that. Wait a minute. 4K
we're-
golden dust animation background video. It switched me from our thing to that.
Okay, well that's just great.
Here we go. Wait a minute.
All right.
Now this is...
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Oh, my God. What's this? This is like... I'm seeing on there...
Lewis is seeing actual interesting content as opposed to this show.
We got Carlos
Getting
here.
introduced to it for the first time.
Carlos made the jump. I have to blame myself, but also pat myself on the back for that technical feat of troubleshooting in the 30 minutes that we had literally everything go haywire. Our video was missing. Our audios were missing. I mean, just every problem. And somehow I got it all solved within 30 minutes on the fly. So I also caused the problems, though there is that. But so I reinstalled our broadcasting software, Lewis, right before the show, fully in a
You're kidding me.
Which I always tell people, you never go full canny, and I did it. I was like, what could go wrong? I updated our streaming platform because it's a stable build, and I was like, what could go wrong? Well, I didn't consider the plugins. The plugins could go wrong, which apparently needed to be updated. So we got that done.
Oh.
Yeah, and I can't believe it actually worked. So we got Carlos here. I don't know if anyone else is going to actually show up, at least until we send the tweet. Should we send the tweet action right now, and then we'll get this thing rolling?
Great idea.
We got the private stream. Carlos has got the private room at the club. Griffin's going to be doing a special dance for you later.
Oh, dear.
All right. Let's get this thing rolling. We've been recording for 3 hours and 45 minutes. We're at like the third or fourth ending of Lord of the Rings Extended Edition by now. Okay. The tweet has been tweeted. I believe I updated it to the correct URL. Please, Lord, tell me I did. I did. Fantastic. Okay, we got people piling in now. It's Ed. He's waiting for the tweet. It's been tweeted, Ed.
Oh, God.
I see that handle, Toy Lover. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. I'm not sure I should have said that out loud. We're going to go ahead and get this thing rolling.
Did you? Every time I look at Twitter, it's just a nonstop, like, well, first off, it's not called Twitter anymore, but
It's not. Get it right.
just
pay the price.
Just nonstop distraction,
Yeah.
including what I just dropped in the Slack there, just for you, Irfan.
Okay. Oh, great. Yeah.
9 seconds. 9 seconds of joy.
Okay. All right. Let's
All you deserve, I suppose. Hey, where's the tweet? Where's the tweet?
The tweet has been tweeted. Did you not hear from
Jeez.
Toy Lover? It's been tweeted. Okay.
Where is it?
I'm going to go ahead and queue up to get rolling. Oh, Mrs. D. Wait. Oh, did somebody say toys? Oh, no. Mrs. D, I'm going to stop you right there. We don't want to hear anything more about that topic, especially when it comes to UNL, Katie. Please just keep that to yourself. We got a whole Apple show here to do, and none of us want to be nauseous for the entire thing. So if you don't mind, I'm going to get the music queued up. I'm going to get my notes queued up. Do I have that going? I believe so. And we've got quorum. I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Oh, shoot. Do I have browser mode set up? Because we restarted the stream? Probably not. So you guys are going to have to see how the sausage is made here shortly, which hopefully you'll enjoy that. All right, Ms. D, let's go ahead and get this thing rolling in 3, 2. Hello, and welcome to the CultCast Fest 30-plus minute conversation you're going to hear all week long. I'm your host, Jeff. Thanks for joining me today. This time of year, he likes to let the Cult of Mac riders out in the wintry woods, then put on his red suit and hunt them back down. He has a sleigh and a bag full of bolas and capture equipment. He's the managing editor of Cult of Mac. Oh, Lewis Wallace is here.
It's getting a little chilly now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Ho, 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 Lewis. Also with us, All he wants for Christmas is an Apple LaserWriter with PostScript support and 1.5 megabytes of system memory. Imagine what you could accomplish with that on your desk. He's a writer at CultMac. Griffin Jones is here.
Apple LaserWriter actually would be pretty good. Those are very reliable printers.
Yeah.
You know, even as the years go on. Currently the only functioning printer I have is a 33-year-old dot matrix printer that I have to connect to the PC.
Of course.
Sitting over my shoulder right now, which runs
Of course,
Windows
that's the printer
2000.
you have.
Windows.
It's a Pentium 2 based system. Sometimes I am exactly the parody of myself that you are.
Oh, that is hilarious. Yeah, of course. I mean, of course you have that. That's really funny. I think we had an Apple II LaserWriter at some point, or maybe we had a dot matrix printer. I think we actually had that dot matrix printer that went like as the print head went back and forth, and you had the pages with like the holes all down the side, and we used that thing a ton for school. And I think we had like carbon paper for it too, so you could get like carbon copies and stuff. I'm not sure why we had that. That seems excessive, but the first
every 3 months I print out my insurance card on that and put it in my car. I almost want to get pulled over and ask for my insurance just so I can hand like a piece of like perforated holes in the side paper to a police officer.
My insurance card is on my iPhone, which does that mean I have to hand?
Don't hand your iPhone to a
Well,
cop.
that's what
serious?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, if you get pulled over and they ask for your insurance, do you have to hand them your phone?
Yeah, which you should never do.
You should never do that, especially
No.
unlocked.
As soon as you get pulled over, you need to do the thing where you like squeeze the power inside, like the power. No, sorry, what is it? The volume button and side button, so that your phone is locked.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I don't want to
Protect
touch my
your
phone
eyes.
even when I'm getting pulled over, because that's a ticket right there. Like, you're touching your phone while you're driving.
Well, I mean, after you stop, presumably, while they spend 5 minutes.
I don't know if they
waiting to
care
walk
about
over
that,
to your
dude.
car.
I don't know if they care. I once was driving my car. I was at a stoplight, fully stopped. I was doing something on my phone, and the freaking cop. So I'm sitting here, and there's a cop car coming towards me, churning. And he slams on his brakes in the middle of the intersection, and like sits there glaring at me, pissed. And he's like signaling for me to roll down my window. And I'm like, yes, officer. Like, so is there a problem? He's like, do you think I don't see you sitting there on your phone? I'm like, I'm loading a map or something. I'm like, I'm stopped at a light. And he was like, you think that matters? He's like, you should never be touching your phone in a vehicle. I'm like, okay, thanks for the advice. And he sat. And he
you're
glared at me.
so right.
He glared at me for probably another 5 seconds.
You are clearly the danger. Touching your phone stopped while he is just like stops in the middle of a street.
He slammed on his brakes in the middle of the intersection. Could have caused like an 18-car pileup. And he was so mad. I could like see him clenching his jaw muscles like bouncing up and down. I was like, this guy is pissed that I was doing. He must have been having a bad day. He almost like got out of the car and put me in a full Nelson and like slammed me down the hood. All right, anyway. I may have exaggerated that last part, but the jaw muscles were going, man. He was not happy. All right, let's see here. We finally got the show going. So many technical problems today. It's like the good old days when El Caney was here. I just want to start by shouting out Hugo Last, who gave us a big, fat, juicy super chat, and then we had to abandon the entire stream with everyone in it because we couldn't continue that broadcast for technical reasons. And so his super chat will forever live on in that chat stream where no one will ever see it, but I wanted to call it out. Griffin's given the double tap to his lips, raising it to the sky. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Hugo. We appreciate the super chat, and El Caney is going to love seeing that go straight to his pocket, regardless if anyone else on the stream gets to see it. But we saw it, and that's what counts. We have a ton of stuff to talk about. We completely forgot last week, as you can imagine, since we're so disorganized, that this is the month where we do all of our favorite stuff from 2024. And I was telling Lewis and Griffin, I was like, we completely forgot even doing any of this. We were supposed to start it in December. Which I guess we only missed one show. So we'll be doing that for probably the rest of the month, which is only, I guess, 3 more episodes. And then maybe early January. I don't know. It depends. We'll see how much stuff we have to talk about. But all of our favorite stuff from the year. Gadgets, gizmos, movies, shows. There's a ton of stuff to talk about. And, of course, we'll also be doing this week's Best Apple Stories, of which there actually is some stuff to talk about, shockingly, considering what time of year it is. Let me see. This is the moment of truth. Do I have browser mode working? I certainly do not. So let me go ahead and see. That's because I had to See, I pulled a full canny, which I told people never to do. I went ahead and updated our broadcasting software right before we went live, and I thought to myself, what could possibly go wrong? I've been doing this for 13 years. I got it on lock, and then, of course, I load the show, and nothing works. Is that even working? I don't even know if that's working. Oh, my goodness. I may not even be able to show it.
Now we are in the liminal space where I'm going to edit this out of the audio version later.
No.
The YouTube people just have to sit around and listen.
This is actually the good stuff. So let me see here. If it doesn't load, I'll just do it without it.
I make that decision in Logic Pro this evening. So.
Okay, well that worked, but that did not.
Logic, no.
Well, you know what? Griffin, though, this is going to be a problem because that means we can't show any of our stories while we're
You actually can't set it up now?
Well, it's blank for some reason. So let me try this. Hey, you know what? Nope. Nobody panic. Nobody panic.
Sure feels like a Monday.
It sounds to me like someone's got a case of the Mondays, Lewis. Okay, let me try this. I have a feeling that this is going to work. This is not an obstacle I can't overcome. I got the entire stream working in 15 minutes. I had to reinstall 3 different applications, 15 different plugins, and a partridge in a pear tree.
I mean, yet, could it be so bad? The YouTube people will just have to, instead of looking at the stories, they'll just have to look at us. Oh,
no need.
Yeah.
No need, Griffin.
We
Look what's been fixed. Look what's been fixed. We just need to stop the stream, delete everything, restart the stream, restart all of our individual recordings, resync everything, redo the tweets, and remain
Reboot our computers, shut them off.
I need you to
move into the woods.
I need you to go buy a brand new Mac, okay? Install Mac OS, Snow Leopard, and then reinstall Skype, and this thing's gonna be working.
That runs Snow Leopard behind me right now. We're good.
Okay.
I'm already ready for that situation.
I think we are. If there's ever an EMP, Griffin's gonna be the only one with technology that still works. Let's see here. I think we got it working. So with that, let me go ahead and give a huge thank you. Well, is this working? To Squarespace for supporting this episode. Oh, thank goodness it is working. Squarespace.com/CultCast. If you've been a slacker the whole year, 2024 is almost over. You still don't have a website. You still haven't gotten your life in order. You still haven't promoted that business that you've wanted to start since you've been listening to the show for 13 years. You're living in your mom's basement, which is nice because you don't have to pay rent and you get to play Call of Duty all day. But you don't have a girlfriend, and we all know why. You're ready to fix that. I'm going to give you the game plan here. What you need to do is create a Squarespace website and get your business promoted, get that product launched like I did, like CultCloth.co, which is being investigated by the Secret Service for being oddly similar to a U.S. minting press because it just prints cash nonstop. And they're like, how is this happening? This guy had to have hacked the dollar code. I didn't. What I did was I created a Squarespace website. They have all the tools that you need to build a beautiful website quick. Start a completely personalized website. They have a new guided design system called Squarespace Blueprint, which helps you get set up quickly, choose from professionally curated layouts and styling options, and build your online presence, your unique online presence from the ground up, tailored to your brand or business like I did. Optimized for every device, easily launch your website, get discovered fast with their optimized SEO tools, so you show up more often to more people and grow the way you want. One of my absolute favorite parts, which I think is critical, is flexible payments. Make checkout seamless for your customers with simple but powerful payment tools. Accept credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay, and in eligible countries, you can offer customers the option to buy now and pay later with Afterpay and ClearPay. And sell content of all kinds, physical products, memberships, courses, digital products, PDFs, music, ebooks, you name it. And you can do all this with your Squarespace website. Squarespace.com/CultCast. Get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain at Squarespace.com/CultCast. Use offer code CultCast at checkout to get that 10% off. I do a year of service, which makes it even cheaper. And you also get the discount on top of it. So just an absolutely terrific value. And Squarespace is I believe by far our number one longest supporting sponsor. I think they've been with us for 10 years now. They call us one of their legacy partners. I'm not even sure what that means, but it sounds good, doesn't it?
They say that?
Yeah.
Legacy?
Yeah. Which I think is a badge of honor. We've been together for so long that we've built a legacy together. And they make what we do possible. So I'm super grateful for them. And they just have a great product, which is one that I use and pay for. They don't even give it to me for free, although I should probably ask them to do that. Maybe they will if I ask them. I've been paying for it for years and years and years. And
I'm a legacy partner.
yeah, I'm a legacy partner.
Do you go on every year and try and like change the username and try to use the CultCast discount?
I actually do use the CultCast discount code. I do use it. Yeah.
Oh, you can use it every year? It's not just for new customers?
Well, I have used it in the past. I don't know if it works every single year or if it's just for first-time subscribers. I believe it's just for first-time subscribers. So if you're ready to get your life in order, squarespace.com/CultCast. Don't forget the offer code CultCast at checkout. Okay, let's dive right in. Griffin, we got a big year ahead. A big, big year. Well, maybe
a big
far
year ahead, not necessarily next year.
Far ahead.
A big year.
I mean, it's ahead of us.
Eventually.
Yeah.
A big year of waiting.
Yep.
I think next year is
Followed by
also
a
going to be a
big
big year. But yeah, let's jump into Mac and iPad news.
Sure. Expect 2026 to be a huge year for OLED MacBook and iPad. An Apple product roadmap prepared by Omdia. I looked up this company. They're apparently some tech market analyst consultant string of business words sort of company. Their analysts predict that both the 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pro will move to OLED in 2026. Omdia also predicts that an iPad mini with an 8.4-inch screen will debut the same year. While 2026 could be significant in Apple's transition away from traditional LEDs, some macOS and iPad OS computers will need to wait longer. Apple's mid-range iPad Air tablet will get upgraded to OLED in 2027, according to Omdia's prediction, the next year. And we will supposedly need to wait until 2028 for OLED versions of the 15.5-inch and 13.8-inch MacBook Air. So everything is getting to OLED, just, in successive years. 2026, MacBook Pro and iPad mini. 2027, iPad Air. 2028, MacBook Air. Also on Omdia's... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Any commentary there?
No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Go ahead.
Also on Omdia's predicted Apple product roadmap sits an 18.8-inch computer with a folding display. This computer has been the topic of previous rumors, but with the projected release date slipping back regularly, the latest estimate is 2028, more than 3 years away. Omdia describes it as a tablet/note PC/monitor. Interesting product description, which makes it seem like a sort of iPad and MacBook hybrid.
Okay. I was hoping for a MacBook Pro level product, but...
Well, they describe it as a computer, so we know it's not actually going to be an iPad.
Yeah. But it kind of sounds like a MacBook iPad hybrid monstrosity, but with a 19-inch screen.
I mean, I think if it doesn't have a physical keyboard and it is all screen on the inside, maybe that's not the case, but that's certainly what people imagined first. That makes me think it's got to be iPad and not MacBook.
Yeah.
Because MacBooks need to have a keyboard and a touchpad of some kind, right?
Oh, just type on glass. It'll be just like the old, what was that thing called? The
butterfly keyboard that everyone
butterfly
loved
keyboard.
and revolutionized computers.
Just like that.
MacBooks for 4 years until they revolutionized it again better.
Do you guys remember the MacBook wheel or the iBook wheel? I forget what they called it in the parody. But in an effort to continue simplifying their computers, there was this parody video. I think it was The Onion. I forget who did it. It was forever ago, where they replaced the keyboard with the wheel from the iPod. You never saw that video? And they did a Johnny Ive video talking about how focused
Samson
and
spent
streamlined
just
it is.
45 minutes composing a short email. It's
and
one sentence long.
it's so simple to navigate to the letter that you want. All you do is turn the wheel till you get to the letter, press the center button, and then go back to the other letter that you want. Never saw that video? No.
Don't think so.
Yeah, well, it exists. It's probably on YouTube, Lewis, if
I'm
you're
sure.
so curious.
Sure, okay. Go watch it right now.
Well, maybe wait till after the show. I would bring it up, but that's copyright strike for sure. If you want to get the stream taken down for a non-technical reason, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it right there. All right, well, it's disappointing that we're going to be waiting so long for these updates, but this is the reason why I've decided to upgrade to the M4 MacBook Pro. I think now's the time to do it. If you have an M1 Max, I mean, first of all, I could totally see you waiting until the OLED updates for the MacBook Pro, especially if all you're doing is video editing, because the increases in performance with just video editing, even though are definitely there, they're not so substantial that I think that you need to upgrade unless you're doing like really crazy timelines or something. I mean, the M4 Max chip is a destroyer across every other application in huge ways, but in Final Cut Pro and in DaVinci, its performance isn't so pronounced that I think that you need to upgrade. But still, if you want to upgrade, now's the time to do it. It gives you 2 years until the OLED version comes out, because you can't buy a Mac and then upgrade a year later. That just seems frivolous.
I mean, I think upgrading just every 2 years is insane from my perspective.
I think you might be right. Like every 2 years seems like it's overkill, but I think that the OLED upgrade is going to be such a huge difference in visual performance that for that reason alone, I think I may be interested in it. I may wait a year after it comes out. I don't know. I'm itching so bad to get a new MacBook Pro. I want a reason to have to upgrade, which maybe seems silly, but so it seems like now is like the perfect time to go ahead and do it and get like some huge increases in performance. You get the brighter screen. You get Thunderbolt 5. I mean, there's a ton of features that I think are probably worth upgrading to. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm actually still on the fence.
It sounds to me like the M5 is going to be one to skip. Like
I agree.
We've heard multiple sources say that the M5 generation isn't going to be very impressive of a leap, and like who buys a MacBook the year before they go to OLED? So it sounds to me like
it's now
for people who don't upgrade M1 to M4, M1 to M6. That's going to be a hardy year.
That's a good way to kind of sum it up. I mean, that is a TLDR. Either do it now or wait until the M6. The M5. If you buy the M5, I mean, you're making a horrific mistake. One of the worst mistakes of your life, I would say. You know what I'm saying, Luce? There's not a lot of mistakes I can remember, but that would be one.
That sounds very accurate.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to go for it. I'm also trying to figure out whether or not I want to do. So I want to get a new iPad too, and I'm trying to figure out whether I should do the 11-inch or just go for the big dog, and go for the 13-inch. I just don't know if 13-inch is livable. It seems like it might be too unwieldy, but they've made it lighter, and it has that beautiful OLED screen. I mean, they both have the OLED, but so by adding OLED, they were able to shrink it way down. It's super thin and super light, and so I think for that reason, it might be usable. But
have you touched one in a store? Because it's
I
not
have,
really
but it's hard to tell.
It's the fact that it's like as wide as a lunch tray.
Yeah, that's what I'm not sure
I
of.
think you should only get the 13-inch one if you plan on using it with like the keyboard and trackpad accessory, because then it's kind of like a
which
laptop.
I don't.
And or if you want to get work on it, which you also wouldn't do.
I just would love to have the extra screen real estate for the 13-inch.
For what?
You're getting a 16-inch MacBook Pro for that.
I know, but I don't use my 16-inch MacBook Pro in bed. Like like my specific use case is I often have a YouTube picture-in-picture video in one of the corners, and the more screen real estate you get, the larger that video is. And then I'm browsing like the web or an app behind the video, and so when you get a larger screen, you get a larger picture-in-picture video. And for me, I feel like that would actually be worth the money for me, especially since I'm going to have this iPad for, probably 5 or 6 or even 7 years. I mean, they last forever. Ed Hayes from the chat, 13-inch iPad is great for movies. I mean, that's the other thing, for flights, for watching movies on the go. But is it too large and too in charge? Is it going to be something that I can't comfortably use in bed? That's what I'm just not sure of. And
they're pretty big, man.
I tried to lay on the ground with it at the Apple Store, and they stopped. They called security. So there's no way to know until you get the thing home.
Well, you got 2 weeks.
I know that is true, but the challenge is I'm being connected with a discount, right? And it's like if you buy an iPad or any Apple device with a discount and you return it, did you just burn up the discount for no reason, right?
Wouldn't it translate? Wouldn't they?
I don't know. I should probably check into that. And I'd feel horrible to waste it. So like if I didn't like it, I would probably just keep it just for that reason. Like someone gives you a discount, you don't say, "Yeah, thanks, I don't want it though." And then return it? No. That's not happening. Although someone from the very exclusive Cult Club actually said, and I followed up on them way too late. Sorry, we're way off in the weeds.
It's
They
shocker.
pinged me in the Cult Club, and they said, I love the 13-inch iPad so much that I want to buy one with more storage and the anti-reflective coating. Do you want to buy my current 13-inch? And I was like, oh, I mean, maybe. How much do you want for it? But I saw the message yesterday, and they messaged me, I think, like in November sometime. So it's probably not available anymore. So I'm back to probably buying one from Apple. So I don't know. Roz Hall, the artist who made one of the creepiest depictions of Leander Kinney I've ever seen, although accurate. He had him sitting on my lap, and I was dressed in a Santa costume. That was a work of art, Roz. It scared Leander greatly. He talked about it for years after that, and I think he needed therapy to get past it. But incredible artist, Roz Hall, longtime CultCast listener, and he says big is beautiful. It's the perfect size. 13 inches is the perfect size. Yeah, especially if you're doing art. The tech enthusiast screen size is all an illusion. Just put your face closer to it. He's a philosopher. I mean, that's not bad, although my eyeballs are deteriorating rapidly as I age, and I'm not sure I'll be able to see anything. In fact, I just realized I'm the only person here without glasses, although I probably should be wearing them. So, I don't know. I'm on the fence, but I don't know. Does anyone care to listen to me go on and on about this? Probably not, so we should probably continue. You want to talk about what people might be caring about, Lewis? Something that they actually might find practical in their own lives?
Sure. MacBooks with 5G cellular might actually happen. Very exciting. A MacBook capable of directly connecting to 5G cellular wireless networks is one potential result of the modem that Apple intends to introduce in 2025. According to, never guess who, Mark Gurman.
Oh, yeah.
Reporter with a publication I believe called Bloomberg. He wrote, with its own modem in the pipeline, Apple is investigating the idea of bringing cellular connectivity to the Mac for the first time. Cellular connections are unlikely to come to the Mac before 2026, when Apple is planning a second-generation modem that includes support for faster speeds, said his report. So, once again, 2026. Initial version won't be able to match Qualcomm's best, according to Bloomberg. It'll lack 5G millimeter wave support, which is, so useful in so many instances all around the country.
Game changer.
Just everywhere you look. One of the reasons Apple wants to switch from using Qualcomm modems to in-house ones is to save money. At least 20% of Qualcomm revenue comes from Apple. But another is to reduce the size of the modem. Apple, quote, designed the new modem, code-named Sinope.
Yeah.
To be more tightly integrated with other in-house components. That means it requires less space and less battery power, according to Bloomberg. The smaller chip will go into the iPhone SE4, expected in the spring, and the iPhone 17 Air, that's that slim one that we keep hearing about.
Oh, yeah.
Expected in the fall. So wouldn't this be great? You actually don't have to go through the
long overdue
hotspot.
Long overdue.
Thing.
I mean, what is the holdup, man? They added it to the iPad.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? That it doesn't have that, and that the Mac doesn't have Face ID. We had another post about that this week.
Face ID, I think I understand, and
really,
yeah, because according to our favorite reporter, Flark Sherman, he said a while ago that the reason that they haven't added it is because the lid is so thin that it doesn't have enough space to contain all the Face ID hardware, which actually makes sense,
maybe.
Right? Because the iPhone is thicker than the lid of your MacBook Pro, and so they have to shrink all those components down. I freaking hate the notch on the MacBook Pro, and I'll tell you why. It's not for a reason that's obvious. Okay, it is because I have a ton of. So I use this application. I shouldn't even mention their name without sending them a bill. I should just send them a bill for even mentioning this here, because it's gonna just skyrocket their sales. iStat menus, which puts a whole suite of tremendously useful icons in your menu bar and shows you, I mean, you could customize the heck out of this thing. You could show your internet bandwidth. You could show the temperature of your CPU and GPU, which of your GPU or CPU cores are being utilized, whether it's performance or efficiency. I mean, so much just nerdy stuff. I love it. So my menu bar is absolutely crammed with icons. But when they added that dang notch, they changed the display in that menu bar such that no menu bar icons can go on the left side of the notch, which you used to be able to take up like your whole top of your screen. So you can only have now like a limited selection of icons that display in your menu bar. This is unbelievably nerdy stuff. I mean, does anyone care about this?
This is horrifying to hear. You have so many icons in your menu bar that it goes over the middle.
It can't go over the middle. That's my point. That is a barrier from whence you can't go past. That
is the worst thing you've ever said on the show.
Just hearing myself say it out loud is one of the most depressing moments of my life, and I apologize to everyone who's listening to this program. But it is the truth.
I turn off everything from showing a menu. I have like 5 icons in my menu bar. And honestly, I could remove like several of them.
Well, look, not everyone can be a power user, Griffin. So I understand. You get overwhelmed by too much information. Me, I want my menu bar to be like the cockpit of a 777 jumbo jet. Are the 777s jumbo?
But I only want it to be like half an inch high and in the upper right corner.
Well, the nice thing is you can change the colors such that they become very easy to see, which is kind of critical for me.
God, so you have
my goodness,
ugly Technicolor rainbow of these horrible icons. Just
it's a beautiful array of just nonstop mini widgets across my screen. I can see everything. I can see a bunch of RAMs being used at any one moment. How much compression is happening? I can see CPU utilization over
about
time.
That information? Why don't you just open?
Oh, come on! You don't need information to be actionable.
Do you use any of that? You just like looking at it.
Oh, constantly, all the time. I use it all the time. I'm a big fan of data. It's the same reason why I'm always pitching these dang USB-C cables with a screen on it that will show you how much wattage is being used by the device that's being plugged into it. Super useful. I mean, it's just interesting information. I can see if my iPhone is fast charging or if it's getting close to being done charging because the wattage starts to decrease. I mean, there's just all this useful information. Maybe it's just me. A lot of you probably would find this maybe not aesthetically pleasing, but I love it, man. So in any case, the notch ruined all that, and that's the reason why I'm waiting for the notch to finally be retired, because I want to have those big, beautiful icons across my entire display. When I connect to the studio display, no notch, I have like 16 inches of iStat widgets going across the top of the screen.
You know what you need, Airphone? You need to buy a Vision Pro again so that you can use the Mac Virtual Display Ultra Wide. Imagine how many icons you could put on there.
That's a reason to spend $4,000.
It wraps around like your entire like frontal view. It's insane.
Anyways,
bringing it back around a little bit.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in buying the cellular model if it's available when?
Yeah,
you buy.
I absolutely would. Well, now that I think about it, I mean, yes, until I think about AT&T trying to stick their hands in my pockets to force me to pay to connect my device to the data that I'm already paying for. It's like I was in a parking garage last night, and they had a little QR code that said, "Pay for your parking before you leave," and I was like, "Oh, that seems handy." So I went to a musical last night. I love musicals. I could do a whole cast off topic about musicals. One of the great American art forms. I saw Mary Poppins. Excellent, absolutely excellent. But
we should do one on musicals. Yeah,
I mean, maybe we should. I mean, we're all musical people. That actually might be an interesting conversation. And so I'm in the parking garage. Everyone's leaving, and I'm on like level 5, and it's car to car to car back up all the way to level 5 because we're all trying to get out of the parking garage. So I see this QR code, and I'm like, oh, that seems interesting. So I scan it, and I'm going to pay. First of all, these baron robbers want. Robber barons, right? What 25?
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to rob the baron. I mean, I do call myself the baron because I dress like a baron when I go to the musical. Right? I have a whole outfit.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I have like this elaborate outfit with the jeweled mask and stuff. But they want to charge me 75 cents. So the parking goes from $25, $25 for like 4 hours of parking. And then I notice that's $25.75, and I'm like, why is there 75 cents? I see that there's a service fee. I'm like, you're going to charge me a fee to pay you? I draw the line somewhere. And I'm like, I bet you if I just wait until I get to the bottom of the garage, they'll just let me pay and there'll be no fee. And sure enough, I I wait, I get to the bottom of the garage, and they just charge me $25. I'm like, why would I pay you 75 cents to pay you early so you're getting my money faster? And I'm stuck in line. I have to wait in this line no matter what. And now you're charging me like a quote-unquote convenience fee to pay you ahead of time when I have to go through that dang turnstile anyway to get my car out of here.
If you'd have paid that, maybe they're like one of those big crane arms, like in those games, would have just picked up your car and gently set you on the sidewalk.
That would have been worth the 75. So now that's something I would pay for. Maybe I just drive to the top and it's like, zzz. Of course. Have you ever used one of those crane arms? It never works well for the toy, Lewis.
That's true.
The toy never makes it all the way down to the drop zone. So maybe they have to rethink that. In any case, man, Ross Hall saying Face Unlock never works on his iPad. It works flawlessly for me, even in different orientations. Ross Hall saying the Face Unlock never works on his iPad.
Oh, Face ID?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I could have my Face ID is just astoundingly good. I often will walk with my face obscured, like at night, because it's partially covered. It still works. I'll use my iPad like in various orientations. I sometimes use my iPad upside down when I'm charging it at night. Still works. I don't know, man. Maybe it's not the iPad. Maybe it's your face. Something to consider.
Maybe just scan it over again and see if it fixes it.
Or that.
I bet he wears glasses and he needs to do like the extra Face ID step where you scan it with and without your glasses. Sometimes that makes a difference.
Good tip. All right. You know what? I know that in the show notes the order is we go to iOS 18.2 new features next, but I think as long as we're talking about hardware, let me just crank out this Apple Watch Ultra 3 story. But before we do that, let me just promote a great idea. If you're like me, you like to keep your gadgets, glasses, cameras, TV, car dashboard in sparkling spit spot shape, to quote the great Mary Poppins, you got to get yourself some CultCloth. Now, I will fully admit, sometimes the orders take a little while to ship, and we're in that predicament now. Occasionally, I have an issue with a plugin that I use that gets disconnected, and I don't have some orders imported into our order shipping system. And for some of you this week, you're going to become aware of that when you realize that your order just shipped because you ordered it 2, even 3 weeks ago, and your order haven't shipped. And my deep and humble apologies for that, because that does occasionally happen. Not always. But it's been fixed, and we're getting ready to ship out some of these orders that kind of fell through the cracks somehow, which drives me nuts, and I don't know how we can fix it because it keeps happening. But now that it's fixed, it's a great time to get yourself some CultCloth. And not only are you getting yourself the absolute best way to keep all your gadgets and devices sparkling clean like the day that you bought them, but you're supporting the show, you're supporting me, which I deeply appreciate, and you just will not find anything better. They are absolutely outstanding. There is just nothing that works any better than CultCloth. And from the design to the dense weave to the way that the fibers are created being broken down in the fabrication process to greatly expand their surface area, which increases their cleaning power exponentially, there is nothing like them. We just upgraded our carry cloths to be even better, which are the ones you can take with you on the go. They just keep getting better. So CultCloth.co, use code CultCast at checkout to get an extra free carry cloth with orders $20 plus. And you're supporting the show, which, again, we appreciate. All right, let me talk about the Apple Watch Ultra 3 just real quick. This is one that I've been waiting for, oh my goodness, over Black Friday. Still, even now, I keep seeing liquidation prices on Ultra 2s. I mean, there have been some eBay deals, $500 for the Ultra 2, $500 for the Ultra 2. And I almost bit a couple times, but I just can't. We're so close to the Ultra 3 at this point that it doesn't make sense to buy the Ultra 2, in my opinion. Although, unless you don't have an Apple Watch, then I think it actually might. I have the one, so it's not worth it for me. It might be worth it for you, though. But you might be wondering to yourself, what can we expect with the Ultra 3? So we've got some more intel from Gark Blurman over at Bloomberg. He had a report, the satellite capability is slated to come to next year's Apple Watch Ultra, the company's top-of-the-line model. The technology will let smartwatch users send off-the-grid messages when they don't have cellular or Wi-Fi connection. Okay. Not my favorite feature ever, but I'll take it. I would also love a brighter display because the display can literally never be bright enough. So that would be a welcome feature, but we'll see. I think currently they top out at 3,000 nits, which is actually dang bright, even in bright sunlight, completely seeable. Now, there is a certain brightness at which when you look at your watch, then look away, you still see the watch time because it's just burned into your eyes. So we might be getting to that point, but until we reach the point where it's permanent, I think they should keep going. Let's see here. So that feature could be the big differentiating feature between the Ultra models and the entry-level watches, although it seems as though another potential improvement could be the arrival of blood pressure monitoring. Now, not in the way that you probably wish. So according to the report, Glark's saying that the Apple Watch Ultra will seemingly alert you to situations where your blood pressure is elevating, like in scenarios where people keep mispronouncing your name. Or maybe you just got your property tax assessment and you see that your property taxes are going up 10% this year. That could do it as well. So it won't actually tell you your blood pressure. It will just alert you to the fact that your blood pressure is high or that it's increasing. So still useful. I'm not sure one that I would use because I feel like these kind of features just stress me out, you know? Because
Hey,
I
have you
think that this
noticed that
stuff
you're
is
stressed right now? You're saying that wouldn't calm me down?
it's like a I don't even know how to describe it. Like an infinite loop scenario, no, or chicken and the egg scenario. It's like where I get stressed out thinking that maybe it's going to catch something bad, and then because I'm stressing out, it gives me an alert that something bad is currently occurring. So I don't know, man. These some of these features I feel like just give me stress, and so I turn some of them off. But maybe useful for people who want to monitor their blood pressure on the go. Maybe there's too many spelling errors or grammar issues within a Cult of Mac article, and you need to know to take your pills because you're about to blow your lid.
WordPress locks you out for no reason at all.
Your YouTube stream is just deleted, and you have to start a new one, even though you have super chats that have been donated. You know, there's so many things.
Suddenly your watch starts dinging on your wrist like it's a tsunami alert.
Yeah, there's a whole plethora of situations. So to me, I don't actually care what they do. To be honest, as long as there's some decent features, I'm going to buy it. I want the new Apple Watch 2, or I should say the Apple Watch 2, with the new straps and possibly the new color, although I think I'll probably do natural titanium again. But the one is just so great still, man. It's just such a terrific product, and it does everything I need. So there's really no reason to upgrade right now. But that's what seems like is on the way for Apple Watch Ultra 3 for those of you who think that you might be upgrading. Any commentary about that, chaps?
You know, even if the Apple Watch Ultra is the only one that gets that blood pressure monitoring, and it requires a special band that's, you know, bulky or blows itself up like those things you get at the doctor's office or not.
It makes that noise too.
The aesthetic.
As it's inflating.
It kind of match the aesthetic of the Apple Watch Ultra, right? Whereas like the regular Apple Watch is, you know, a thin little, like round little pebble fashion sort of thing. Like if it's like a big chunky thing that looks kind of weird.
I don't think it's going to be that. I think they're going to use whatever sensors are already included in the watch, which is probably the reason why they can't give you an accurate diastolic and systolic pressure reading. How did I remember those terms? I don't even know. And they can only tell you an indication of maybe what's happening trending wise, but I don't know.
Hey,
dude, there's no way it's going to inflate or be bulky. There's no way. There's no way.
It'd be pretty funny if it did, though.
That would be hilarious.
Was there an indication that the blood pressure would only be on the Ultra? That seems crazy to me.
No. It's only
described that way in this article. It doesn't mention it coming to the regular models.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think if they're able to pull that together, they're going to put it in the regular watch.
It will probably go in the Series 11
as well.
You're probably right about that.
It just doesn't seem like a. I mean, like who are the least likely people to be worried about their blood pressure? Probably people who are, you know, I mean, because everybody's got an Apple Watch Ultra. We're out climbing mountains. We're skin diving. We're
skin diving.
Skin diving and
Sounds
also
like something Hannibal Lecter does. What are you doing in your personal life?
Yeah, you know, I love the Apple Watch Ultra, but I haven't noticed a great uptick in my outdoor adventures, despite all those gorgeous aspirational things that you can do with it.
I haven't either,
Yeah.
but
Mountain climbing.
I'm not doing any of that adventurous stuff, but I like having the option. And maybe you would get this. I have aspirations, Lewis.
I used the siren one time just out in the middle of nowhere just for laughs.
Did you? Was it loud?
Yeah.
Really? I haven't even tried it. I would say most of the
Try
features.
it now in the air.
Okay, yeah, you got it. Live demo. I would say most of the features on the Ultra I don't actually take advantage of. I bought it for purely narcissistic reasons. I just love the way it looks, and I think it is one of the best looking watches on a man's wrist that you can get.
Aesthetics and battery life.
And it makes me feel like a character from Fallout. Like, did you ever see the show? You watched the show, didn't you, Lewis?
Yeah, I love that show.
Dude, me too. That show was great. Speaking of shows, Silo 2, Season 2. Oh, mama. It's getting good. I could go into so many tangents right now. Oh, my gosh. We got to hold off.
We basically have like a tangent section of the show at the end.
I guess
so
that's true. Griffin, the
coming up
voice
on
of
that.
reason. Okay, let's see here. I think that's it. You want to talk about iOS 18.2 and rattle off this list of stuff that people can play around with, Griffin? I know you're dying to.
Sure. So we've talked about a little bit about this on the show in previous weeks. iOS 18.2 drops a huge number of features. Even if you're not interested in Apple Intelligence or you have an older phone, there's a lot to unpack in this update. Although I guess we can briefly run through that. Image Playground, Genmoji, Visual Intelligence. Have either of you used that feature? The hot feature of your camera control button? I've completely forgotten what that is.
I've tried it out, but I have not. Like, I haven't used the thing where you can point it like a flyer on a telephone pole or in a cafe window or whatever. And I've just used it like in my office. It's like, oh yeah, but like I pointed it at this what is it? It's a audio input. And you know what it said? This is an audio input. I'm like, really? Okay, audio input device. Wow, that was helpful.
Yeah,
Have you used?
yeah.
You said you've used it a little bit out in the real world, right? Like on the streets.
I actually did use it while I was in Philadelphia over the weekend. I was, we're
City
trying to
of
figure out
Brotherly
where to
Love?
eat. Yeah.
Okay.
Pointed it at a restaurant. And I was like, oh, well, here's their menu right here. Do we want to eat? Does this stuff look good to you? You don't have to like walk up to the window and read it or walk in and see what the vibe is. You can just check it out right there.
So that worked well.
Yeah.
How
You
was
know why it works so well? Because it's not actually Apple Intelligence based. It just uses your GPS data and references that location with Apple Maps to figure out what building you're probably looking at,
Right.
which is why it's so reliable.
I was going to ask you how Philadelphia was, but let's not do that because you got more here to go through. This is only going to delay
Oh, yeah,
us.
sure. ChatGPT and Siri, if you ask Siri a thing, that instead of saying, here's what I found on the web, it'll ask ChatGPT instead. I don't know. It's not the best interface. Like if you want to ask ChatGPT a question, you're probably better off just like opening the ChatGPT app because you can have like a full back and forth dialogue there. But for the people who don't like
Or
to
Grok.
use it, yeah.
I haven't tried this one, and I think it's going to take me. I'm going to have to take a concerted effort to do it because I've quit asking Siri any questions. There's never an answer that's useful or anything. I mean,
Yes.
maybe the weather. Sometimes it gets the weather right.
I mean, Siri is the problem. I mean, if you just go directly on one of these other platforms and it can understand you, you've just avoided yourself, 10 minutes of frustration. Or, the problem is if you go through Siri, you're going to spend at least 5 minutes correcting what you were trying to say, and it's just faster to go use the platform of your choice to get that answer directly, unless you type it in, I guess.
Anyways, other new features, daily Sudoku puzzles and Apple News Plus. These are actually really good. I've been playing those pretty much every day. They have 3 different puzzles you can do, an easy, a medium, and a hard.
Yep.
Good stuff there. If you need help finding an AirTag, you can now get the help of somebody else. You can like share your AirTag temporarily with somebody, not like a permanent thing.
It's like fun, but it's like a scavenger hunt.
That's a handy feature.
Yeah. So like if your luggage or something like that is in like an employee only area, you can share it with an employee, somebody who works at the airport and be like, hey, just go in there and get it for me, will you? That could be handy. Automatic categorization of your inbox in Apple Mail. this is actually kind of handy as well. You can tap and see different like tabs of your inbox and filter it by promotions, mailing lists, updates, orders, stuff, receipts, stuff like that. Kind of handy. I take very good care of my inbox, but I know a lot of people
Oh
don't.
my gosh, mine is
So,
a wasteland of broken dreams and unread messages.
here's a really, really awesome one that I think is going to be like one of those hidden features that people talk about all the time. And once you hear this, you can be one of those people who knows about it before anybody else. If you select a piece of text in Safari, that little, black
Yeah.
pop-up tab comes up where it says copy, paste, whatever. You can swipe over on that, and there's an option called copy link with highlight. Then when you paste that link and somebody opens it, it'll scroll to that part of the page automatically and highlight what you selected in yellow.
That's bonkers. They must have to be using Safari.
No, it's actually an open web standard that Safari is actually kind of late at implementing. It's been a feature in Chrome and Firefox for a while.
I've never heard of this
Yeah.
feature on any browser.
Yeah, it's a new kind of
Use
like
it all the
URL
time.
structure that you can append to a URL.
How
to,
would
like,
you
select
use this
text on the
feature
page.
in Chrome? Is it just like a right click?
I don't know how you
Why not
create the link
check?
in Chrome,
I'm
but it
using
can open it.
Brave right now. Let's see. No. Doesn't work. Garbage. Complete garbage. Probably works in Safari though.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Let's see. Multi-track recording and voice memos, so you can sing along in a voice memo and then harmonize with yourself if you really want to.
I mean, hey, something to do when
Interesting.
you're bored.
And let's see. Oh, this is one that I don't care about, but I know a lot of people do. If you're irritated that the new lock screen design doesn't always show the volume button, like the volume slider on the lock screen of your phone, you can turn that back on in settings, accessibility, I think like audio and visual, and there's an option to always show volume control on the lock screen.
I
That's
mean,
kinda handy.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. There's a number of new camera control features. You can now have the camera control instantly open with one click, even when your phone is asleep, which I turned on this feature when I was making my video and article about this over the weekend. And then I discovered, hey, my phone is really hot in my pocket. And then I found out that because I enabled that, my camera control is activating all the time in my pocket unintentionally and just like recording videos in my pocket. Or, like taking pictures of the ground and stuff like that. So don't enable that, but you can. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's a new feature where you can type to Siri and add a button to that in Control Center. Apple Intelligence is now available in other dialects of English, like UK English, Irish English, but other stuff like that.
I think I've been using
So,
Irish
there you go.
English. I think I have a male Irish Siri now. He's like, top of the morning to ya. What can I do for you today? It's kind of nice.
Have you been messing around more with Image Playground and Genmoji?
After every beta update and release candidate, I was testing to see if it's gotten any better. It hasn't. It's still kind of garbage. I've now learned how to make an almost decent like Image Playground depiction of myself in the animated style, but I don't know if I think we missed this when we were talking about it last week. The illustrated style it just makes an ugly version of everybody.
Oh, that could be fun.
Fantastic.
It's kind of horrible. I'm going to bring up an example.
I just
right
find it. Yeah, go ahead.
now. Okay.
I don't understand why, for the love of God, it can't put the proper number of legs on an animal. I mean,
That is just a problem for almost all AI engines, except
How?
well,
how
it
is
doesn't know,
that possible?
It doesn't know how to do fingers. It doesn't know how to do eyeballs correctly. It
I
can't
mean-
do words.
I can kind of understand like fingers might be hard to draw or whatever, and you get weird hand. But like when in Apple Image Playground, you say make a picture of a camel with a football. This is my sample the other day. Make a picture of a camel with a football in a stadium, and the first one comes out, 5-legged camel. Second one comes out, 6-legged camel. Third one, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, can't remember, more than normal. Finally, it got to one where that actually had 4 legs, but then the football was like a basketball or something. I mean, how is it? I can kind of I can see how maybe football is confusing to it because it means two different things. It means a soccer ball and it means a football. But a camel, why can't it get 4 legs on a camel?
I could see this upsets you.
I just find it so stupid. I can't like nobody has been able to explain to me why that would happen. Well,
I don't know why either, but it is a problem
because it doesn't actually know anything about anatomy. It just knows patterns, and it knows, oh, camels have legs underneath them, and so it just draws an amount
But
of
even
legs.
still, like you would think that it would be able to look at enough pictures of camels to realize camels have 4 legs, right?
Or somebody could type in camels have 4 legs. Dogs have
it
4
doesn't
legs.
know what a leg is. It doesn't know what a leg is or what
Yeah.
it looks like.
I mean,
it
that
just
is true.
knows that a picture of a camel is shaped generally like that.
And yet,
anyways.
like the better AI engines like Midjourney, like they have dialed that stuff out. Every AI engine has its own strengths. Like Grok, the one that you can use. Actually, you can use it now if you are a Twitter Premium or not a Twitter. I don't know what their different subscription levels. It's like the very first level. It costs like $8 a month or something. You now get access to Grok, and I don't think that used to be included, which is like their generative AI engine. And as far as I've seen, Grok is like the absolute best at recreating pictures of people out in the public. Like that Tim Walz picture I sent you, Lewis,
Right.
just as a mailman. Like that was Grok. Almost no other AI engines are good at making a replica of a real life person that it would know, right? But like that picture was crazy good. I made another one of Walt Disney, spot on. I mean, and Midjourney's thing is like it gives you the right amount of hands, right amount of fingers. Your eyeballs look normal. And Apple's, I just feel like it's just kind of like maybe a couple years behind some of these other tools. Sorry, Griffin, you were going somewhere with this.
Oh yeah. So I brought in an example picture. If I give it the right input picture into Image Playground, it actually looks almost good.
That looks like you.
And I told it, black button down shirt.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like
Yeah,
me.
that is one of the better ones I've
Okay.
seen, to be honest with you.
Then you switch over to the illustrated style, and like that guy is like 10 years older and like maybe 50
Oh, that looks
pounds
like your
heavier.
dad. It looks like you. Although
Yeah.
it did catch the barely visible stubble on your chin.
Yeah, but like all of them look like this. That's not me, and like all of them look like that.
That
He has,
looks like
stupid
a,
looking glasses. Like
That actually kind of looks like Alex E. Heath. It looks like a Macworld magazine like writer illustration from like 1992.
yeah. I don't know why, and I've tried it with other people, like not just me, other people in my photo library. It gives a almost flattering image in the animated style. You switch over to illustrated, and it's just horrifying and like almost insulting. Like I wouldn't actually show them to any of these people because they'd be like, "Do I look like that? That makes me feel bad
See,
about
this is
myself."
the problem with Image Playground. It's not that it's not. I just feel like it's not useful. It's it is really it's a photo booth 2024 edition, right? Like it's something that is fun to play around with for like 10 minutes, and then you put it away and you never think about it again. And I think it will get better, but ever since Apple announced all this AI stuff, like their stock price has just been going bonkers. In fact, the last week or two, it's rallied again. It's the highest it's ever been, which I love, because my stock is just outrageous. I can't believe how much it's worth now.
Oh no, I need to show this
All
too.
right.
I just made of one you of Airfon of you
All right,
Airfon.
let's see.
You're not ready for this.
I probably am. Oh my! That is the most. It's like seeing a car accident. I can't take my eyes away from it.
It gets the essence of you.
I wouldn't
And
say
then it
that.
says,
I
how
wouldn't
can I
say
make
that. No.
this ugly in every possible facet?
It's
And
like
transport you 10 or 15
if you had
years
an
of the future.
evil twin doppelganger who was considering adult films, this is what he would look like. Let me see that again. Huh!
If you really want
Ugh.
to.
My lord.
It kind of got my hair, but that
Then it made it
Why
gray.
is it
look,
gray?
look. I mean, it's like white. Look,
And I should also say that like the white balance on my camera is trying to adjust the white balance. Your face is like orange.
Well, it also looks
the
like I
screen.
have like a ski mask tan. You know, it's like the top or like ski goggles tan. It looks like the middle of my face is like white and the top and the bottom are like tan. It looks like I just got off the slopes at some unheard of skiing resort because I can't afford the good ones.
Good grief.
That's horrible. You're right,
if
man.
you're listening to the audio version, check the chapter artwork if you really want
you.
to.
Yeah,
I
please.
don't think you should.
Please
but you
do.
Can.
Just don't look at it while you're driving. Okay. I think we should probably go ahead. Well, we're so long now. We got to go ahead and dive into our best stuff of the year. Is there anything else on the iOS 18.2 front that needs to be called out before we move on with our lives?
The update is available now.
All right.
Nobody can update.
All right. I mean, everyone here probably already has it, but all right. Let's move on to one of my favorite segments of the whole year, man. I really love this segment. In fact, I'd probably do it every week, to be honest with you. Just like our favorite stuff. This is this 2024 edition. I got so much stuff to talk about, and I just bought a bunch of stuff for Black Friday too. I really need to do a better job asking people to send me stuff. It's so much work to get to like write the emails, reach out to people, tell them what you're doing, like who you are, and to get them to send you stuff. I've been trying to do more of it. It's just so much easier to buy stuff, but then you got to spend all this money. But then you're using your own money. So it's like your impression of the product, I feel like, is its most pure and accurate form. So there are pros and cons to each. But in any case, I feel like I have a lot of stuff to talk about, which we'll probably work into future shows. But this is anything that you want to pitch. Favorite stuff of 2024 edition. I think historically we've done it by category. I don't think we need to do that. Just start with whatever you want. Whatever comes to your mind, just go ahead and start with that thing. And we'll go from there. And maybe do one or two each, because we're going to be doing this for like the next 3 or 4 weeks. And we'll just see where it takes. We'll see where the road goes. Lewis, I would love for you to start.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez. Jeez, don't make me do it.
All right.
Let's hear
So this is a new product that came out this year. I don't know if you can see it. It
looks like a golf ball.
is not a golf ball.
Oh, you got the Beats. Oh, no, those aren't Beats. Those are Anker.
It does kind of looks like the Beats thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Those are they're called Sleep A20
Okay.
earbuds.
Okay.
And they're made by Soundcore, which is Anker's audio division.
Yeah.
And these things are they solve the one problem that I have with AirPods, which is I like to listen to stuff as I go to sleep. I like to sit there and listen to podcasts while I'm drifting off to sleep.
Yeah.
Or, worse yet, when I wake up in the middle of the night. And the problem is AirPods are super uncomfortable. You can't lay on your side with them, right? In your ears. You'll wake up feeling
I can, but everyone's ears are different.
I sure can't, man. I wake up feeling like somebody drilled out my ear if I do that.
Okay.
So these things, they've got the little silicone tips, and it's kind of a special, weird silicone tip. It's got like 2 layers, and it kind of acts as a physical barrier. So it's blocking out sound as you sleep. It's got the little wing tips on the top, or ear wings. I can't remember ear wigs. I don't know what those
earwigs.
It's
That's
definitely not an ear wig.
That's something from Star Trek 2, the Wrath of Khan, I believe, right? Put them in your ear.
Yeah, you don't want that. And let's see. So they fit in your ear. They're very small, and they don't stick out of your ear. So you can lie on your side. You can toss and turn.
What did you call that thing again? The Soundcore what?
Sleep A20.
A20. Okay, I'm going to pull it up for the good people watching.
Yeah, so I started using these, I use them every night, or I did until went to Italy the last time. And one of my problems is I have sleep apnea.
Yep.
And I use a CPAP machine at my house usually, although I kind of hate it.
Yeah.
But I didn't take it to Italy with us. I absolutely hate traveling with one of those things. It's an absolute nightmare. It takes up half your suitcase. Every night you have to unpack it. You have to figure out where to put it. It's just terrible. So I didn't take it. And, after like 3 days over there, my wife, in the morning is like, oh my, she's like about ready to strangle me. She's like, you're snoring all night. You wouldn't stop snoring. I'm like, yeah, okay. I was asleep. I'm sorry you told me to stop snoring, but It's not like I would said to myself, "Hey, self, snore." I said, why don't you try these out? And I that was the last I got to use them. So she put them on, and she's like, "Oh, well, I've tried AirPods. It doesn't work, and it's uncomfortable and whatever." I was like, "Yeah, try these. These are specifically made to block out sound, not with active noise cancellation, but with like a physical barrier, and to be comfortable while you sleep." And you know how like your iPhone has built-in relaxation sounds or whatever, wooded stream, forest birds, all that kind of stuff, babbling brook. Well, this Soundcore has its own sound, it's a separate app for all of its audio products. And so you can go in there to these things and you can select 2 or 3 sounds and you can use it, like I said, you can use it to stream audio, music, podcast, whatever. But you can also use it as sleep sounds or whatever the term is for those. And so she went in there and she found one that was like, I can't remember what it was. It was like, it had some kind of almost like a technical name, like low resonance G factor or whatever. I don't know what the hell it was. Incidentally, so she put in that and she's like, "Oh my God, I cannot hear you snoring in the room." And
wow,
the whole rest of the trip, she's like, I love these things. She like I said, I don't get to use them anymore because she uses them. And let's see. So the other thing about it is that the other day she says, "Oh, I went in there and it totally changed the app, and now they have like different sleep sounds in there, and like now they actually say like anti-snoring this or that, So I haven't actually checked it out because I don't have access. But anyway, if you want sleep earbuds, I think these things are great. The only thing that I don't really like about them is that sometimes they like attack my phone. Like I'm sitting listening to my listening to a podcast in the middle of the day, and once in a while it'll get grabbed by this is before the wife took over, right? It's like somehow their Bluetooth connections sometimes, even when they're in the case, will connect to my phone, and that is a little bit troublesome. But I've had that with other like Bluetooth speakers and stuff. Sometimes that'll happen. So I don't know whose fault that is. Does Soundcore make their Bluetooth connection too strong? Are they not shutting off properly because they're not in the case properly? I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that. Small price to pay if you want some earbuds that work great while you're trying to sleep, or if you need some earbuds to try and block out some snoring. I mean, they're pretty great. They list for I think $149.
That's interesting that they work so well. Nothing works well for people that snore loud. I feel like if you're stuck in a room with someone who snores, you are just in for a night of frustration and elusive sleep. Like, you're not going to fall asleep. There's just nothing you can do.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing, like, that's the kind of sound that noise cancellation ain't great at, right?
No.
It's great at slow hum of an airplane or, driving down the road, but it's those sudden, like,
Yeah.
and so, they've come up with these sounds that like suppress that. In addition to just, like I said, the physical barrier, which frankly, I mean, that's pretty effective too.
And they're comfortable to wear all night.
I think they're very comfortable.
See, I sleep with a sound machine in my house, and when I usually wake up at around 5 a.m. and I put earplugs in because when my kids get up, like, they're so loud that there's just no way. And my house is laid out in such a way that you can hear everything that happens once the kids get up.
You don't get up until 5 a.m. and your kids are awake before that?
Oh, dude. No. I don't wake up at 5 a.m.
Oh.
I will wake up before them, and I just wake up, right? Because that's like early in the morning, and sometimes you just wake up. And then I probably train myself, and I'll put my earplugs in, and then like an hour later, my kids get up. So I try to put them in before my kids wake up, because once they're awake, if I don't have them in, because sometimes I don't have them available to me, or I'm just too lazy. Once they're up, man, and they're like arguing with each other and shouting, and like my son's playing drums and everything in the house, it's like, dude, there's no going back to sleep after that, So
you continue to horrify me with just basic descriptions of your lifestyle on this.
It's amazing what you get used to. I mean, So the earplugs work great. I buy a huge box of earplugs off of Amazon probably once a year.
Just foam earplugs.
Yep. But sometimes I have a hard time putting them in. So like a product like this actually is intriguing to me. And I should reach out to Anchor and see if they'll send me something. I mean, they're usually pretty good. They sent me some charger stuff, which I'll probably talk about in future shows. Outstanding. Like, they have such great accessories for iPhone and Mac and stuff. I mean, they're just one of the best. Like, their audio stuff I find intriguing. Like, I know they're trying to make it happen. I don't know how successful they have been. And their stuff is, like, pretty affordable in the audio realm for the most part. And it's always built pretty well, and their apps are pretty good, so it's pretty interesting to see what they're doing.
This case is kind of, I don't know, feels slightly weird and flimsy, and it doesn't have wireless charging, which I think is kind of a big, missing thing. I mean, I'm rapidly getting to the point where I'm used to not plugging things in.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
Yeah, it starts to feel.
I plug most stuff in still. I don't have very many wireless chargers around my house that work with MagSafe. I probably need to buy some stuff. I don't have very much.
Recommendations. So
start buying. Yeah, I suppose I should say these are a review unit as well. And turns out my wife ended up writing a review of these for the website.
Really? Wow.
Her headline was something like,
I've never written anything before. How does WordPress work?
These might stop you from killing your snoring husband.
I mean, not that she hasn't tried.
Yeah,
I see the ligature
luckily,
marks.
a lot of scar tissue built up. It's not so easy anymore.
All right, cool. Those are the Soundcore Sleep A20s by Anka Sleep earbuds. I'm gonna go next. And I feel like this is something you got to act on fast, my friends. It's the year of griddles. I've done all the research for you. I've done huge amounts of research, and I'll tell you what I bought. And there is an absolutely killer deal that's going on right now where if you heard me talk about griddles in the past and you're like, oh, this guy might be onto something. I like bacon. I like making eggs. If you've ever thought about getting a griddle, if it's interesting to you in any way, unfortunately, this deal is really only good for people in the U.S. Now is your time to act. There are a lot of griddles out there. Blackstone is the most popular model. I would steer you away from Blackstone, and I would steer you towards one of the products made by Weber. Now, Traeger is also making a griddle as well right now, but it's like $800. I mean, the thing is nice, and it actually cooks really well. But Weber has a new line of griddles that are like a pared-down version of like the really premium grade Weber griddles, and they're still built really well. They don't have like all the bells and whistles, but you don't need a lot of bells and whistles. In my humble opinion, there's really only a few features that you need, and the most important one is you need the flat top surface to cook evenly. You need to be able to cook everything at the same speed across the entire cooking surface, and that's something that many griddles don't do. Blackstone seem to not do it all, and so there is a griddle that I bought. It's on Amazon at this very moment that I speak to you, for which you hear my voice, $450. I have been waiting for this thing to go on sale forever, and it just doesn't drop that often. And then on a whim, I went on Costco's website, and I noticed that they had it on sale, and they were selling it for $319. And I was like, this is crazy. Amazon is selling this for $130 more right this moment. So I ordered it, right? Great griddle. In the last week, up until, I think, end of day on December 13th, they have it on sale. It's now $270, which is
from Amazon or Costco?
This is from Costco. Costco has the thing $50 off their already insane price of $320. So until the end of day, December 13th, they have this for $270, which is a absolute bonkers deal. So if you have been interested in any of the griddle talk, which is probably going to be the name of my new podcast, to talk about griddles and how much I love them and
or
how...
your partner is interested in them and you need one more Christmas gift.
Or that, I mean, you could buy this thing and use it for, a couple months, see how you like it. And if you don't like it, Costco will just take it back. So act fast if you have been interested in griddles, But griddles are just such an absolutely useful tool for moving the cooking out of your house. Like everyone has a grill. I love my grill. I use my grill all the time. My grill is also a Weber. It's one that connects to my natural gas line on my house, which is super convenient because I don't have to worry about, replacing propane tanks. But this new griddle, I mean, it uses propane, fine, whatever. But what I love about griddles is just their unbelievable versatility. I mean, having a flat top that you can cook sausages or hot dogs or onions or bell peppers or eggs or toast or bacon. I mean, you name it. Having like a professional large space to cook whatever you want out there, it opens up a whole new world of cooking opportunities outside. And I love cooking outside because there's no cleanup. You just cook it, and then you just go inside and you're done. Like, you don't have to wipe down your whole stove. If you're making bacon inside, the grease sprays all over the place. It's on the floor. Now you got an oil hazard on the floor. Your dog's constantly roaming around, trying to lick your feet and the floor. And I mean, so I want to move all that stuff outdoors. You don't have, house stink from whatever you're making. And this is the year. Now, griddles have been around for years, but I feel like they've finally come into their prime. Now you could finally get a griddle that cooks really well, is super affordable, and will give you years and years of enjoyment. So I will include a link to this in the show notes and also in the chat. This one is just called the Weber 28-inch griddle with hard cover, and this is all you need to start that grilling or that griddle lifestyle. One of my favorite things of 2024. Is it new in 2024? No, but it's new to me, and I'm pitching it. I've got other picks too, but man, I thought we could do two each. I'm not sure we can.
No,
not this episode.
One's good.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned that you used the term house stink, referring to the sweet, sweet smell of bacon.
Well,
that's one of the finest things in the world.
I agree. I agree.
I mean, in fact,
but it lingers, Lewis. It lingers.
Oh, fantastic.
The worst thing is being able to smell bacon and not being able to eat bacon because you already ate the bacon.
Or because it's Irfan on the other side of the fence cooking in his backyard.
I love creating like nuclear clouds worth of smoke. Like when I'm out there grilling a ribeye, and like my entire backyard is just filled with smoke, and the smoke is just wafting over to my neighbor's yard, into their windows and stuff. And my other neighbors have become vegetarians, so there's also that. It's like, hey, sorry, enjoy the death plume, But oh man, that smoke that arises from your grill when you're making a big old juicy ribeye. Costco has started selling the thin cut ribeyes, which are the absolute best ones, by the way. Their ribeyes are just top tier. Anyway, I could do a whole off topic on this, which...
And it means that you don't have to worry about your smoke alarm going off inside your house, which happens to me all the time.
Yeah,
because I have a very poorly ventilated house.
Yeah, that happens in my house too, which is never fun. Okay, Griffin, take us home, my friend. What do you got for us? Okay, so
listeners of the show will know that I like making some weird esoteric picks, and I will get to those next week. But if I thought that maybe I would, do sort of like categories, best tech product, best music, best food, stuff like that. But if I'm thinking back to the best tech products of this year, I've reviewed a lot of stuff. The beloved iMac that I had just a few weeks ago, the Mac Mini. I actually got a new phone this year.
Oh,
but
right.
It's got to be kind of an obvious pick. But the most transformative tech product this year for me would have to be the Vision Pro. I've talked about how I've used it in previous articles and videos on the show, so I won't go over all of it in gratuitous detail. And I do have a few new things to mention as well. But really, I don't have a very good TV. I actually have two televisions now in my living room. I have a 1993 Zenith CRT television.
Zenith.
It's like,
wow.
It's maybe like 24 inches.
I think that was the very first TV company, Zenith.
Possibly, yeah.
The very first U.S. TV company. I'm pretty sure it was Zenith.
I have an RF modulator that I can plug my Apple TV into to then plug into that Zenith television so that I can watch, Star Trek or old Doctor Who in its intended format of a 4:3 blurry mess. I also have, this is a more recent addition, I do have like a crummy LCD television. It's only 1080p. It's, I think, not that much bigger. It's only like 36 inches, but it's also not great. That's just an escape hatch if I have friends over who want to watch uh, a movie or a television and see the entire screen at once. But, the Vision Pro, that's my preferred way to watch things. I don't have AirPods, but with the Vision Pro on, I can just play it out of those audio pods on the side. And the sound quality is actually really excellent. I don't like walking around on my lunch break or like cooking, holding a phone in my hand because it's tiny and then you're doing everything one-handed. But, you can just have things on floating screens in front of you.
That is one of my favorite things about it too. It really is such a tremendous experience.
So, I don't have a MacBook. I don't have an iPad for the small amount of computing that I might want to do elsewhere, but I have a Vision Pro. And now this is not a great way to replace all of those products. Like, you're honestly better off buying a television or an iPad or AirPods, and you'd still save like several $100s. But the Vision Pro has more cumulative fun and novelty than all of those other things, which I value.
I agree with everything you just said.
Yeah. So
that's $4,000.
I do have a few new products I would like to call out here.
Okay. While you're grabbing those, I just had a thought. Like next week, there's probably going to be very little Apple news. We should just do the whole episode as our picks.
Oh my God.
Or especially like the week of Christmas.
Come on, Lewis. What are you muttering over there? You don't have any picks? Just hang out, listen to me and Griffin do
that's
picks.
the problem.
Well, you can do shows, you can do movies. All right, Griffin, take it away.
Okay, so this is a travel case that I was sent by a company called Anna Pro. It's very nice. The Vision Pro is kind of a big awkward thing to carry around, and it still is even in a case.
I was gonna say that case looks big
shaped.
and maybe slightly awkward. Does it have a handle on it at least?
It does. It has a big old strap on the side.
It looks like a
around.
giant capsule, futuristic capsule.
It is kind of a big product, but you open it up and you have like a strap inside.
You hold it up higher.
Jeez, that looks like a bomb.
Yeah, I wouldn't take that to the airport, Griffin.
Jeez.
You're getting a full body cavity search.
Treatment.
Yeah.
You have a little zippered area.
Holy moly! Look, the wires go to the battery. Yeah.
Jeez, this looks exactly like a homemade bomb.
Yeah, man. You're definitely going to go to airport jail if you take that to the airport.
But it's a nice light gray felt bomb with nice materials.
Yeah. Okay.
The Vision Pro sits inside. It has this like sort of pouch that you can put your charging cables and whatnot in, and it holds the Vision Pro nice and snug in there. It also holds the Vision Pro with a little bit of room on top of it.
Yeah.
Because Anna Pro is the same company that makes my beloved top strap product.
Okay.
Sits sort of on your forehead and alleviates more of the weight across your head, and also allows you to use it without the light seal. They actually just came out with version 2 of their top strap product, which is nicer
iterating
and
quick,
even more padded and another nice thing is that on the inside of the case, it has a little layer right where the eyepieces go to keep the lens inserts that you have nice and snug and scratch free.
Nice.
Thoughtful.
Yeah, they really thought a lot of this out, and I'm struggling to put it back together on the air. One more thing though.
Holy moly, man! We're each doing one. You're doing like 15.
It's a combo deal.
This is all
Now I want to talk about one of my favorite shows, but we got to wrap it up. We'll have to save it for next week,
Okay.
I guess.
My preferred keyboard input device when I'm using the Vision Pro is this product by Mokibo. It's a compact keyboard. You can buy versions of this that work with an iPad too.
That looks cool.
It's a keyboard, but you'll notice the keys are all very flat.
Yeah.
That's because the surface of the keyboard is a trackpad. So you're typing on the keyboard.
What?
So you just like lightly run your fingers over the keys?
Yeah. You just run a finger over the key, and then on the Vision Pro, it'll just turn into a cursor, and you can use it as input.
No way. That
so
is
the biggest problem with the Vision Pro is that, with WordPress especially, like there are a few buttons that you can push accidentally that will be a big problem. Like if you accidentally push the publish button while you're still writing your draft, there are those moments where the precision really matters. And I will say that having a trackpad built into the keyboard isn't great, but like you wouldn't really want to use this on an iPad because you wouldn't want this trackpad to be your only trackpad. But if for those just brief moments where you need like, I just really need to make sure that I hit this button instead of that button, it's really great for that. So It's neat. It means I don't have to carry around a separate trackpad.
Yeah.
I don't have to make sure it's charged.
Super
It's all
tight
just
little
one
package
device.
too. Like it's really
Yeah,
compact.
Yeah.
How was the
It's
actual
also
typing
not
experience on
very
that?
great. It's also not very great,
Okay. All right.
but it does both things kind of well enough to make me not want to get a separate keyboard or a separate trackpad.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it's pretty
I'll have links
unique.
to all those in the show notes. Like, using the Vision Pro without the light seal is huge and transformative. And
God,
also
so
just
crazy.
having a convenient way to carry it around is also neat because it is kind of like an awkward physical object. It's also better to just have a place to put it so that it's not just like raw dogging on like my corner coffee table or something like that for my dogs to just knock it off the table and break it. So
I gotta say, I am super curious and excited to see what Apple does with the Vision Pro. Like, where do we go from here? I really hope the next update is a big one and not just like, well, the screens are marginally better, although that's probably what we're in for, is iterative release.
the next year of Vision OS will be the first time they've had like a full year to work on the software. So I have pretty high hopes for Vision OS 3. But then again, we're also hearing reports that Apple's pulling a bunch of engineers to work on iOS, and iOS 19 features are going to be delayed. So maybe
Yeah.
it'll be another year of
I
kind
mean,
of
they're
nothing.
doing so much stuff. It's like, and the iPhone makes them all their money. So it's inevitable that they're going to have to pull people from other places to fix or to build iOS if there's ever any problems, which I'm sure happens all the time. All right, look, we need to go ahead and wrap it up there. But you know what? I think next week, again, we're going to come back and we'll do more best of 2024. I have so much stuff. I mean, I was just thinking of some stuff that I could launch into, but we can't because we're already at 16 and a half hours. Look at Lewis. Look at, look at the dark circles under his eyes. He needs to go. He needs to go to bed. He's going to go into that. He's going to disappear into that obscurity blurred behind him and just slip into it and probably fall into a deep slumber. And,
Sounds like a great idea.
and probably not come back until next Thursday. But that's it. That's all the CultCast we have for you guys this week. If you want to come give us your opinions on any products we should test or talk with us one-on-one, well, me and Griffin have been in the very exclusive Cult Club, which you could join at support.thecultcast.com, support.thecultcast.com. Just fork it over, would you? $5 a month. It's going to be a new year, new you, new us. That's what your $5 will do for us. Or cult of 9to5macrumors.com, at least until the trial is scheduled sometime in probably late 2026. And our high-powered legal team has assured me we'll probably be able to keep that domain, but we'll see what happens. And I'm also on Twitter at Airfon, ERFWin, I mean the all-new X, along with at Lewis Walsh, and of course, D. Griffin Jones in the other obscure social media platforms that you will find him lurking on.
Mastodon and now Blue Sky.
Oh, Blue Sky, all right. This has been CultCast, the best 30-plus minute Apple conversation you're going to hear all week long. New episodes of the CultCast come out every Thursday night. I want to thank everyone for listening, for hanging out live, and we will see you guys next time. I had to end it quick there because we're almost out of music. And if the music stops and I haven't actually finished the show, I wouldn't know what to do. I'd probably just freeze and panic. And it would be like that Michael Bay moment at that CES keynote that he did, where he froze and panicked and ran off stage. I don't think he ever came back either. He just retired right there and then. All right, everyone.